Hello po! Welcome to this episode of Aaron Motoros YouTube channel. Ngayon ay idadagdag natin sa ating kaalaman ang tungkol sa political ideologies sa subject na Philippine Politics and Governance. What are the three concepts of the three major political ideologies and their basic tenets? How does one differ from the other? Tingnan natin ang mga batayan o pundasyon ng Estado at gobyerno. Now we are ready to tackle the social and political philosophies. Ang political ideology ay ang diwa ng kung bakit at papaano nagdidesisyon ang mga politicians, government, and other sectors like the civil society. Capitalism, communism, democracy, and everything in between. Ang mga nabanggit ko ay hindi exclusive list. Marami pa dahil ang Pilipinas bilang isang bansa ay na-expose sa iba-ibang ideolohiya sa mahabang kasaysayan nito sa ilalim ng mga mananakop at sa kapanahunan ngayon ng globalisasyon. So ano ang ideology? Ideology usually refers to a system of beliefs about how society should function, behave, and operate. Sa ganitong paraan din natin i-define ang mga terms na political philosophy or thought or thinking. Political thought refers to a body of ideas about politics or aspects of it which were the fruit of a deliberate intellectual process. It does not refer to a spur of a moment reaction or opinion about political issue. And do these things really matter? Kung tuwing eleksyon lamang aktibo ang mga political parties who are supposed to exist or operate on ideologies at may mga cause or principles na isinusulong? O do they operate out of necessity? Anyway, observe yourself if you belong to any of these. Are you a little liberal or a little conservative? Una, liberalism. It is a set of political beliefs emphasizing individual rights and liberties. Kung naniniwala ka sa liberalist point of view, you may vote for candidates with platforms for a more liberal society. Its philosophy is founded on individualism and pluralism. It is seen in a state in which racial and ethnic minorities are distinct but have social parity. It upholds the exercise of natural rights and freedom of the individual, promotes multiculturalism and diversity. It exposes change in a society full of inequalities. Liberalism opposes censorship that limits the freedom of expression, unreasonable powers by the state over individuals, monopolistic economic programs, interventionist foreign policy, and the interference of church in public issues. Another political ideology is conservatism. It refers to a set of political beliefs based on the preservation of customs and traditions that define the character of a society. Para sa isang conservative, karaniwang ipinaglalaban nito ang preservation ng mga traditions o ang status quo, hierarchy over equality, collective values over individualism, at ayaw sa mga biglaang pagbabago. Siya yung old-fashioned or traditional sa punto de vista at programa. The conservatives maintain balance and stability in a society while avoiding extremes. Pabor ang mga conservatives sa strong military defense sector. Usually anti-communist, it supports sectarian values through religious instruction and is characterized by an interventionist foreign policy. The conservatives has a tendency towards monopolistic economic system. Next is socialism. It refers to a set of political beliefs emphasizing community and social equality. As an economic system, it is a system in which natural resources and the means of producing goods and services are collectively owned. Unlike capitalism, in which natural resources and the means of producing goods and services are privately owned. Socialism upholds government ownership, especially of monopolized industry. In a socialist industry, Ang pangunahing katangian ay communal ownership of major enterprises leading to an egalitarian democratic society. Ito ang tatlong major political ideologies. Sa dami ng partido sa Pilipinas, I doubt if alam pa natin ng mga butante ang kanilang ideology, cause or party principles. So pag-aaralan natin mabuti ang mga agenda nila kung nabibilang sila sa alinman sa nauna kong na-mention. Pero ituloy natin ang 1001 Shades of Political Ideologies. Magsimula tayo ngayon sa ilang philosophy o ideology na tatawagin nating mga classical political philosophies. From his Republic, Plato's idea of a society of state is made up of three classes of people. Meron siyang tinatawag na legislators, warriors, and artisans or craftspeople, each with a special set of virtues. His student Aristotle said that by nature man is a social animal who created the state. Thus, man is also a political animal. Niccolo Machiavelli gave the idea of a ruler who stresses the survival of the ruler and the state over the interest of the individual and the general public. In-advise din niya sa sinumang mamumuno na it is better to be feared than to be loved. Thomas Hobbs, through his major work Leviathan, argued for the necessity to obey government authority, even a very imperfect kind, in order to avoid the risk of chaos and bloodshed. Henry David Thoreau's transcendentalism emphasizes the spiritual over the material. When it comes to leading a fulfilling life, people are ethically justified to question an unjust government. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, through his social contract, greatly shaped democratic societies when he said that man in the natural state is forced to enter into agreement to form a civil association to rule over them. Karl Marx described society as a two-class system. The rich are the capitalists and the masses are the working class, which are eternally antagonistic with each other. Tingnan naman natin ang tungkol sa ilang Filipino political thoughts. Sinabi ni Rizal sa wika ni Padre Florentino sa nobelang El Filibusterismo, ang kalayaan ay makakamit sa pamamagitan ng talino at dangal ng tao sa pagmamahal sa katarungan, karapatan at kadakilaan kahit na ang kapalit ay kamatayan. During the Philippine Revolution, in order to prepare the members of the Katipunan for the struggle for independence from the oppressive colonial regime, the cartilla formulated by Emilio Jacinto was adapted to reflect the principles of Andres Bonifacio's Katipunan. It spells out the ideals of value for work and not wasting time, social responsiveness, patriotism, love for his native language, and humility, which were expected to be subscribed by the members of the secret society. Meanwhile, the birth of our nation and our nationalism both emerged as part of global trends. The opening up of foreign goods and ideas in the 1800s also spurred the spread of the ideas of the earlier American and French revolutions, which enlightened citizens and later the whole country were deeply immersed in. Sa iba pang bahagi ng daigdig at sa ating kasaysayan ay nabuo ang iba-ibang political ideologies at makikita natin ito sa mga uri ng mga pinuno at ng kanyang pamayanan. At ngayon sa isang working democracy ay dapat na ang mga ideology na ito ay nagko-compete sa marketplace of ideas. Pero nakakakita pa ba ang mga tao at butante ng mga ideals and prinsipyong napaloob sa mga political ideologies na ito? Thanks for watching. God bless and keep your face mask while in public. Sige na po. See you soon.